Hi everyone, Budget Stark here. Thanks again for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be taking a backstage look at the Hot Toys display over at Toy Soul in Hong Kong. On the ground floor here, they have pretty much all of the original trilogy figures on display, amongst a few others as well from Sideshow, including a quarter scale Stormtrooper on display as a prototype. It hasn't been announced for pre-order yet, but something a little bit different. They also had some Sideshow figures at the back, along with pretty much most of what they have released in 2015. So on the ground floor, purely Star Wars original trilogy, and then if we go up to the third floor, that's where they have probably the biggest stand there on display. So I'm going to show you some of what was going on prior to the actual exhibition starting. You can see all the guys setting everything up. Most of the figures are actually in their display cases. However, before the exhibition starts, they always put figures out in the open for the media to come in, take photos, and generally a lot of publicity goes on. Figures and exhibitions in Hong Kong are actually quite a big deal. It goes into publications, there's articles written on them, it sometimes makes the news. It is something that generally just interests people. If we look at the display area here, they have pretty much the Batman display area with all their vehicles, the Tumbler, Batpod, 89 Batmobile, and the Bats. The armoured Batman 1-to-1 scale. We'll have a quick peek at the moment because it's a very nicely done statue. I actually want to take this quick opportunity to say that I don't work for Hot Toys. I don't do any of their PR, marketing. I have no relationship with them at all. The only connection is that I buy a lot of their Iron Man figures. And I think collectors realise that as I'm a big Iron Man collector, the staff will obviously know me because they see me buying a lot of their figures and ordering them. And I want to thank the staff at Secret Base and Hot Toys who do spend a little bit of time when I do ask them questions, and they understand that I ask reasonable questions and I don't badger them. So thank you very much for taking the time out to respond to me. This armoured Batman is really funky. I didn't expect it to be this sort of level of detail, but it's definitely an attention grabber. And we'll talk about attention grabbers because they had other 1-to-1 scales from Civil War and also Age of Ultron, the Mark 45 at the back, the Mark 46 in the centre, and the Captain America. Just before they start Toy Soul, they actually put out the figures on display for the media to take photos and for the Hot Toys girls to pose up with those figures. After seeing all of the Batman vs Superman items, figures, it looks an immense collection. It looks very, very awesome indeed. I think it's going to be an expensive year for Batman and Superman fans, because when I walked in, the first thing, your attention is drawn to this. The 1/6 scale Batman vs Superman Batmobile. There's no doubt it's an absolute monster. If you collectors can pick this up and put this anywhere in your collection, it will be the centerpiece, no doubt about it. It's a prototype, not announced for pre-order yet. It measures over 1 meter in length, probably about 2 feet wide. You need a bit of height to be able to display this because the doors open upwards as well with those funky Recaro bucket seats. The Force Awakens figures were actually in the open as well. The reason for that is that, again, the press are going to take photos and a little bit of press coverage. This is the Riots Trooper, which I thought was actually pretty good in the film. It's a shame they didn't have more footage of him. You can see at the back there, a lot of the shelves and the display cabinets are empty because they've been taken out to be used for this particular opportunity, and this is the day before Toy Soul actually officially starts. They generally will display prototypes or figures announced for pre-order, just so collectors have a chance to see what they're working on, see how the likeness is, the accessories that they may or may not come with, and also some limited edition figures. The Copper Chrome Stormtrooper was a collaboration with Chocolates, which is a clothing brand in Asia. That was a limited edition clothing collaboration with Hot Toys, and another collaboration was with PlayStation. They had the Shock Trooper, this red and white original Stormtrooper, and there was 450 of these available. 150 per day if you purchase a PS4 or other PlayStation products. And then moving across to another display is the Deadpool, which a lot of people have said is a significant difference to the Sideshow version that was released earlier on this year in 2015. Tailoring looks excellent, the weathering, it doesn't look so clean, the fabric used, definitely collectors are looking forward to that. This is the Mark 7 open body diorama. I call it diorama because I don't think it's going to have much articulation, but those flaps will close up because you can see hinges on them. This is a quarter scale Mark 42. Again, not announced for pre-order yet. A little bit different to the Mark 43. There's a couple of extra items as well. So an interesting addition to the quarter scale range. And this is the Diecast War Machine 1.0, which again, many collectors are looking forward to, as several missed out on the original War Machine. This is the Gamma Mark 26. You can call it the brother of the Mark 25 Striker, and it actually was an exclusive. It was a lottery edition, so it's essentially a Toy Soul exclusive in Hong Kong for us. The other exclusive was the Jakku Stormtrooper edition, which was a movie promo. Here are the lovely Hot Toys girls showing off their impressive figures to the press and the media coverage that's taking place just before the actual official Toy Soul is underway. It looks like Deadpool is definitely having a good time at this exhibition. So after all the media coverage, the Hot Toys staff get back to work and put the figures in for display and make sure that essentially the figures are going to remain stable, powered up if they have light up features. The lighting has to work, all the accessories have to be displayed out, and a museum or a dynamic pose is used. I know this type of footage generally you won't see in some of the UK conventions or the US Comic-Con conventions, but hopefully you guys appreciate how it could be a little bit different and how Hong Kong does these types of conventions a little bit differently. So this is the Mark 7 open body diorama that they've plugged in, powered up, wired up, and how it's going to look for the next couple of days. And the display cabinets for that is pretty much all set up now. The level of detail on this Mark 7 diorama looks absolutely immense, and I'm very much looking forward to adding this to my collection for display. And this is the Batman display. As I said before, everything's closed up now, encased in glass with the LED switched on, powered up, how collectors are going to see it. I think in 2016 and probably running over to 2017, the Batman vs Superman line is going to get bigger, and some of these will be released in that time frame. They're showing off some of the accessories that you get, and I think for the amount of accessories and the tailoring, on top of that, the design of the suit, several figures and characters that haven't been announced yet, like Wonder Woman, this is going to be a popular line. The Batman and Superman figures actually can be pre-ordered, and the tech cowl is the bonus part if you did actually order both figures at the same time. I know some collectors have mentioned that the Batman from Batman vs Superman looks a bit fat, but it doesn't appear to be like that at all. It could have been a combination of lighting, the camera angle, maybe the fabric was flaking out very slightly, or the way it was posed up, but it doesn't look fat at all. Now, this is the Civil War cabinet, which none of the staff showed the media coverage people. They literally opened it up after they left, created these partitions, and started putting in the Civil War figures. It was meant to be a surprise unveiling, so I didn't take any footage of the figures. I didn't feel that it was fair, as obviously they wanted to keep it a secret for a reason. And this is what they showed, pretty much the entire lineup for Civil War, and I could say it looks phenomenal because we have a monster War Machine 3.0 with a type of electronic baseball bat weapon, which I actually quite like. They have the Black Widow Vision at the back, the Mark 46, that's a power pose that has about 28 LED lights, has limited articulation, and those are the only two figures that have been announced so far, the Mark 46 Iron Man figure and the War Machine 3.0. Here is the Falcon with similar outfits as seen in Ant-Man, Captain America, and Scarlet Witch. Now, the Scarlet Witch is a little bit uncertain at the moment. It has an Age of Ultron base, and it's similar to the outfit that she wore at the end scene of the film. It's unclear at the moment if they're planning on having two Scarlet Witch figures from Age of Ultron, or unless this figure is going to be shown in Civil War and will become the Civil War figure for Scarlet Witch. So stay tuned to Hot Toys Facebook page for any updates on that, and check with your online retailers of what's going on in terms of announcements for pre-orders. We'll have Bucky at the front there, and also Hawkeye. Hawkeye looks excellent. Some collectors have mentioned that he looks a bit bland because of his suit colours. When you see it in hand, the blue and the purple and the black actually complement each other very well. It's like a blended in military look, but not so vibrant as the Age of Ultron purple. It's slightly more darker and more camouflage look about it. So that was the Civil War display, and I think Deadpool approves, and most of you collectors will approve as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys like this backstage look at Hot Toys and their display booths. I really enjoyed taking the footage, and I want to thank again Hot Toys staff and everyone who spent a little bit of time to talk to me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and catch you all at the next video.